Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Confidence Culture Conversations. Hello, Coach Kirubai. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Coach Elizabeth. I know you must be tired after your journey from Manchester. Is that?
It's been a long day. I can't go. I must say it's been a long day, but you know what? I'm grateful to God, and I am here. So yeah.
Yeah, Elizabeth, I know I apologize for playing hooky last week. I celebrated my birthday, so I took
Yes, you did. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I'm a week
Happy
away.
birthday, Coach Kirubai. Happy birthday to
Thank
you.
you.
You're
Thank you. Thank you.
welcome.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So I played hooky and I wanted to celebrate the day with my husband, and I think you approve, no?
Do you know what, Kirubai? If you hadn't sent me that message, I was going to tell you I'm not available. So when you told me you were going to go out, I said, yes, you need to. Well deserved.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the good wishes and thank you for that lovely video um, team Olijimi prepared for me. And it was lovely. Lovely greetings from all three of you. And it was a well spent day, afternoon tea, and evening. We had a little small meal and just spent some time together. And, it's memorable.
That's good.
And
That's
we
good.
thank God. We thank God for it.
Creating memories, which is
Yes,
really good.
creating memories. A lot of us don't stop and pause to take the breath of fresh air and enjoying. If those who are living in London, I think we are so caught up with the hustle and bustle of life. But you know what? I've been living here for 14 years, and I thought, you know what? Always kind of see. I love to when I pass by St. Pancras. I love that building. It's so beautiful that
Which one?
the the old St. Pancras railway station,
Okay.
the majestic building.
Mm-hmm.
So I just told Robert, I think I would like to go into this place. And he said, yeah, let's go and let's maybe have tea there. And it was totally, totally, I was awed because it's so beautiful inside. And for those who are living in London, just go in and have a cup of tea and and enjoy the ambience. It's beautiful. It's so
Good, good,
beautiful.
good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
And you know what? It's a great place. It's very Instagrammable.
A lot of people stop there to take pictures. So yeah, I
Yeah,
can imagine inside.
go in and take pictures and look at the these all structured beauty. I think it was in 1800s. Yeah, we have Dr. Olivia saying hello to us. Hi, hi.
Hello, Dr. Olivia. I believe you are joining from Facebook. Thank you for joining our conversation today. And actually, while you're here, we might as well talk about Saturday, right? Let's talk
Yes.
about Saturday before we get lost in conversation. Kirubai, what is happening on Saturday?
Wow. We are both speakers. We are panel speakers at this Fit for Purpose conference organized by Dr. Olivia. Woo woo! There it comes out. Look at the awesome lineup of speakers. And I'm humbled to be part of this big dynamic conference with dynamic empowering women speaking of uh, topics that they are so well versed and empowered. And thank you, Dr. Olivia, for inviting me, okay, Elizabeth and myself to be part of this grandeur conference. And we are looking forward to it. So we're going to break a leg. Elizabeth, are we going to break a leg?
Kirubai, I'm not planning to break any legs. I
I'm
need
planning,
my legs.
I'm planning to rock the stage.
I think I'll say I don't mind provoking some people, but breaking a leg. Let me hold on to my legs for now. Yes, Dr. Olivia, we are excited. We're excited for you, but also excited to be part of part of this movement. So ladies, like, head over to our social media pages and you will find details. I'm trying to see if I have the link on me right now, but Dr. Olivia, you can put the link in there, right? But ladies, head over to our pages. Secure by Dr. Olivia says no leg breaking. I believe she'll be on a day off. She doesn't want to deal with any injuries.
It's just a phase. It's just something that, this good genteel in English say that go break a leg.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah, we want to be empowered ourselves, and we also want to be in a room full of women who are empowering. It's a place where we can learn from each other, and harness all the different atmosphere of thoughts. And I can't wait. I can't wait.
See, she's excited. She's lost for words. But ladies, like, it's don't just listen to us. Take some action. Go buy the ticket. You can get the links on our social media pages, or send us a message and we will send you we will send you a special discount link. So message us and we'll send you a special discount link. Just because you joined Confidence Culture Conversations today, we will send you a discount link. I think it's 25% off or 20% off. So send us a message. We'll send you the link so you can join us this Saturday in London for the Fit for Purpose conference. It's going to be amazing. I'm not going to say any more because I don't want to spill the beans. I don't want to spill the beans, right? Not that there are any beans to be spilled, but hey, I'm not going to spill the beans. Hi, Nana. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. Hello, Nana. Great to see you here.
So, Kirabai.
Yes. So what have you been doing this last week? You have been very secretive. Come on. Now, I spoke about my story. What is your story this last week?
Last week, what was I doing last week? I don't know what I was doing last week.
I think you were so busy with Janaya, and you were doing a lot of things.
Last week, let's see what happened last week. Oh my days, Kirabai.
I know.
You put me on the spot. What happened?
I know time is flying. Time is flying like the wind. I must say and we hardly can catch up from day to day.
Do you know what? It's been a busy, productive period, and I'm grateful to God for it. But also in the midst of it, we've been able to like make time to do family stuff, which has been really nice. So like on Sunday, so last week we were sort of sat there and I was like, wait, Tunji, it's Dad's birthday next week, and we can't go on the weekend because of the Fit for Purpose conference. So can we make time on the weekend to go? And I had an event on Saturday. So thanks for the reminder there. I had an event on Saturday. I was speaking in St. Kitts. Woo-hoo!
Oh, yes, you online.
I was speaking in St. Kitts. Yes, I was virtual, but hey, I was speaking to women live and direct in St. Kitts who were
well done.
So it was amazing. So when you see me saying I'm an international speaker, don't hate. I do speak on international platforms. Anyway, this is an international platform, so hey. So that conference was amazing. Women Empowerment Conference by Pastor Deidre Richardson, who is also part of our Show Up and Shine community. So it was really good to be part of that, and it was such a blessing. It was. Do you know what? I actually joined the whole time. So I was on my laptop from, I think it was 1 p.m. our time to about 7:30.
Wow, that's a long time.
A break in between, but it was heavy. And you know what? I'm so glad I chose to stay till the end, because sometimes we want to leave and we think, oh, my time is going, I need to go. And at one point I did think that. I was like, why am I staying on here this long? I should just go. But I said, let me honor the other speakers and listen to what they have to say. And actually at the end, just before we finished, I got a very heavy prophetic word given to me. And I was like, ooh, that's why God wanted me to stay. He wanted me to receive that word.
Wow.
Don't get impatient and miss your blessing. Don't get impatient and miss what God wants to say to you. Sometimes we don't tarry long enough. We don't stay in the place He wants us to stay long enough, and we miss what He has for us.
I think you are speaking to someone out there today.
Honestly. I thought to myself, I said, Elizabeth, you know you've finished speaking. You can go now. I said, no, I'll stay to the end. And Kirubai, if you listen to that prophetic word, you will see the gravity of it. It was so heavy. I'm still warring and praying with it, but I'm also very excited for what God is bringing me into.
Amen.
And
Amen.
literally all I can say is watch the space.
Amen.
Watch the space.
I'm excited for you. And God has...
So Saturday was good. And on Sunday, we took an impromptu trip to Bristol. So got the coach at 7 a.m. off to Bristol, and we came back on the 7 p.m. train, or that was cancelled, and then had to like find our way around. So we were in Bristol for the day, and the weather was lovely as well. It was Remembrance Sunday, so we got there in time for church, which was really nice. So we joined in the Remembrance service. And we had some family time, which you cannot put a price to. So on Thursday, my dad turned 71. And so for me, it was just like last year on his 70th, he was in Uganda, and we didn't get to see him physically. And so for him to be around when it's his birthday, it just makes a difference. And it's like, go be present. Don't just send a message. Go there. And so it was nice to spend Sunday with them, have a meal. And I always like spending time with mom and dad because I feel like a child again.
Oh.
And I can tell Janaya, see Jana, I have mom and dad here too. So hey. It was really nice, and obviously spending time with my sister as well. Family, like, don't take the people close to you for granted. You know, last week Monday, I went on Instagram and I saw a post. Somebody who I follow on Instagram, she's here in London, I think she said she was based in Kent. She's a coach, and she passed away.
Wow.
And she's not old, she's young. But I saw her on her page, there was an announcement that she had passed away. I said, is this a joke? Like, are you serious? And it was such a shock, and you could see in the comments, everyone was so shocked. And for me, that was just another highlight. Don't take life for granted. Like, be present, love on the people you need to love on. And that's what we're talking about, compassion today. So yeah, like, let's get into this conversation because I could go on one. Kirubai, over to you to introduce our conversation today.
Before we go on this conversation, I would like to actually share something that I experienced on Sunday.
Oh, please do.
I was invited, my aunt Selena, she speaks the Hindi language. So we were invited to Hindi speaking ethnic church.
Oh, wow.
Right in Ilford. Ilford. It was between Ilford and Manor Park. And lo and behold, to my surprise, a beautiful setting church in a lovely suburban area. 80 Punjabis. They are people who originally came from Punjab, Pakistanis, and people who speak Urdu and Hindi. They gather. About 100 people with children gathered to worship God, and I was thrilled because it was so lovely as they spoke their language. It was translated English and Urdu and Hindi together. Urdu and Hindi has got its own mix together. So it was lovely being there and meeting some beautiful women of God, and you know what? It was so it was so different. It was like I was literally in India. The music, the way they brought in all their instruments, the collaborative instruments that they put together, and with modern music, I was thrilled. I was really thrilled, and I had worshipped with them, and you know what? Hospitality. they even packed food for us to take home for dinner. That's hospitality, I tell you.
Good.
Yeah. And so it was different from the norm. You come to church, you worship and stuff. It was different. It was so enlightening, and it was beautiful for me. So I praise God for this connection, actually.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, I love this comment. Compassion, complete passion.
Woo!
I like that. I'm gonna steal that, sir. Pastor Follow, I'm gonna steal that. Compassion, complete passion. I love that. So, Kirubai, when we talk about compassion, what are we really talking about?
So this confidence culture conversations that we do every Tuesday, it is always we expand on different topics, but finally the end goal is always how any topic relates back to how it builds our confidence.
Mm,
And I think compassion is a beautiful character and nature of God.
mm,
And we have to embrace compassion for ourselves. We are so hard on ourselves.
mm,
It's always taking the whip and whipping our backs. And compassion has a positive and a significant effect on confidence. So we're going to unpack this word compassion and why we need to show compassion to us ourselves and also to others, as how Christ showed compassion to others.
mm, mm,
So, so one of the things that why do I say that we are so hard on ourselves is self compassion. We are so critical of ourselves,
we are.
and when we are all the time criticizing our actions, our reactions, and like Pastor Follow said, we forget our passion.
Mm,
We don't run that race and a race with passion and compassion. When we fall, when we make a mistake, when we lag behind, two-step forward, three-step backwards, let's not beat ourselves up.
mm,
Let's not beat up ourselves and say, I can't do that.
mm,
If Christ didn't show compassion, half the miracles that were stated in the New Testament would have never happened.
mm.
From cover to cover, there were miracles. Jesus performed miracles because he moved with compassion.
Do you know, I love that statement when it talks about Jesus, that he was moved with compassion.
Mm,
And it just makes you think, if we were all of us that claim to be Christ followers,
mm,
if we could all just allow ourselves to be moved by compassion, the world would be a very different place.
mm. And when we don't have compassion, and when we don't have self acceptance, because sometimes because we don't show that compassion on us, I like what Elizabeth said. The world would be a better place if we cut some slack for ourselves.
Mm,
Because when we are living in a competitive world, you can't run away from that. And when we are competing ourselves, our thoughts, our achievements, we are also competing with someone else. And then when
mm,
that unhealthy competition comes, then envy, jealousy, all those friends of the negative will join us.
they creep in.
Yeah, and they creep in, and then that makes us a very unpleasant, dejected person.
Mm,
Who wants to be with an unpleasant, dejected person who's carrying all these loads of negativity? So, dear listeners, today make make your, what shall I say? Make it a point to show some compassion towards yourself. Acknowledge it.
mm,
Treat yourself with kindness and embrace self-esteem because of this. Come on. We learn and we move on. We've all made mistakes.
Mm.
We've all made mistakes. Everybody is fallible here. Elizabeth, what do you think?
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right in terms of like being kind to yourself, because sometimes we can be very critical of ourselves. Sometimes we can be, I'm going to say, very judgmental of ourselves. But as I'm sitting here, and one of the things that I want to maybe not necessarily shed some light on, but to touch on, and I'm going to use an example. One day I had a conversation with somebody, and I realized that she had put aside her own worth. She had put aside her own worth to help somebody with a dream that they were pursuing. But this person was literally sort of like, I'm going to say, taking advantage of her, in the sense that they were not necessarily, they were kind of leaving her to it, almost like it wasn't theirs anymore, it was hers. But she's like, I'm giving all my time to this. I have no time to pursue the things I want. And yet I'm giving time to this, which is for somebody else. And that person has something to fall back on if this fails, but I don't. And I think there's a lot of us like that. Sometimes we put aside our own pursuits to then help others pursue what they're pursuing, but we forget that we're also responsible for the things that we're supposed to be pursuing. And we say it's because we're being compassionate, we're putting others before ourselves. But putting others before yourself doesn't mean you forget you. The Bible talks about love your neighbors as you love yourself. So the kindness to self is important. The love to self is important. You can't ignore it. And that's what you were just highlighting, Kirubai, about how we should be kind to ourselves. And so when we're talking about compassion to others, we should also have that compassion towards ourselves. And I like to say that compassion is, or love is, a doing word. I'm going to use love intertwined, is a doing word. So it's not just, I can't just say I'm a compassionate person. My compassion is evident in my actions. It's evident in the way I talk. It's evident in the way I treat others. So it's not just a sign that I carry, a placard that I carry to say compassionate person in the house. No.
It has to be action. Yeah.
It has to be actioned.
Yeah, so important that, yeah, I mean, I have personally sometimes just turned away from something that I could have made good, help someone, and I've turned away, and I've taken the bus and or a train or a tube, and then sitting there regretting not helping. So sometimes, in our own emissions, we don't we show compassion to people. Yes, there are people who will take advantage, but if there is a scripture in the Bible, if there is within your power to help someone, then you need to stretch out your hand and help someone. And when you help someone, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. So showing compassion to others, it indirectly gives you a place where you feel, wow, I've done a good deed. It's not self-gratification, but you know what? It has a tie between two things. And how does it affect our confidence? Is this, that feeling of, oh, I have done a good thing, builds your confidence. Builds your confidence because you have accepted that person and you have helped that person. So sometimes I'm going back to self-acceptance and compassion. If you are a perfectionist, This is a hypothetical question. If you're a perfectionist, that's where you fall into trouble, because perfectionists cannot show compassion towards themselves,
Mm,
because they're always beating themselves up for not performing, beating
mm,
themselves up to see the what's the next best thing to do and to improve. It's fine to improve, but you know what? You kill yourself wanting to prove who?
mm,
Who are you proving to? So it's a fine line. Perfectionism kills passion. Perfectionism kills you taking action.
mm.
And perfectionism kills everything to do with your destiny,
Wow.
because you are in that same position all
Mm,
the time.
mm. And it's that reminder of just like you don't have to wait for perfect conditions, because there might never ever be perfect conditions.
Mhm.
And I'm reminded, and this is maybe linking back to compassion, but I'm reminded of how sometimes we say, I wish I could help these people, but I don't have the money or I don't have the resources. And we want to help, but we don't have the resources. And in those moments, I always think, well, what can you do? Is there something that you have access to that you can use to help that person? You might not have all the money in the world to buy their problems away or to pay their problems away, but is there something that you have? And I think sometimes, like when we're being compassionate, it goes beyond thinking about ourselves, and our own issues or things that we're dealing with, but being able to see others. One of the prayers I like to pray is, Lord, help me to see others the way that you see them.
Mhm.
Because when you see others the way that God sees them, you're not seeing them from a judgmental kind of perspective. You're seeing them for who they are, and you're valuing them for who they are, not for who you want them to be, but for who they are. And I think that's so important when we talk about compassion. Even when we talk about like confidence, just being able to be authentic in your compassion. If you feel led to do something, you do. Don't hold back because you're scared of what people are going to say about me. What is it going to look like? The other day we were at a it's like a takeaway in Brixton, and it's a busy takeaway, and we were stood sort of at the entrance, and we were going in to order something, and a young lady came, and all she wanted was some food. And I thought, okay, I can buy you food, so I'm going to help you. And I got into conversation with her, and she's been homeless for 2 years.
Wow.
And I was just like, God, I empower me to do more than just buy her food, because buying food is only solving one little problem in the grand scheme of issues she has. And the thing is, God sees our hearts, and the more we have a heart for compassion, he will bring those opportunities, and he will also bring those resources
Mm. Yeah.
for us to be able to help and pour into others.
Mm.
So, and it's crazy when you're living in a city like London. Like, people are rushing, everyone's about their business. One time I was, and I'm going to say this and then I'll stop. One time, me and Tunji and Janaya got onto, or was it just me and Tunji? We got onto the underground, and we were standing because there were no seats available, and a young gentleman started having a nosebleed,
Mm.
and you could just see the blood dripping, and he didn't realize he was having a nosebleed. And all of a sudden, people started to realize, and they started distancing themselves from him, because
Oh.
this was like, it was after COVID days. But they also like, oh, he might have something contagious, I'm going to move away. I said to Tunji, that young man is bleeding, let's go help him. And we went and sat next to him and got whatever tissues and wipes that we had, and we helped him. But it was when we did that, other people started offering tissues. But before that, it was like they were all, kind of distancing themselves from him. And we live in a society where the society has changed. It has changed. People will see someone struggling and they might want to just get a phone out and record it instead of actually first saying, how can I help you? They're eager to record it. They're eager to, they want the gossip. They want the latest news in town, rather than actually, how can I help you in this situation? And compassion meets the need.
Yeah.
Compassion meets a need.
Compassion is action. It's taking action. Taking action. And I thank you for sharing that story. Thank you for sharing that story, because, it must have been quite embarrassing for the young lad to be bleeding like that.
It was, because he didn't even know what, like, he was none the wiser, like, why am I bleeding? And, yeah.
These are things that is unavoidable. Sometimes it just happens. So let's move on to compassion, being empathetic to others. And what empathy does, it fosters a good relationship with someone. I know we, as coaches, we always talk about empathy. We empathize with our coachees, we mentor. But you know what? There is a place where we build a relationship. If you don't build a relationship with your coachee or the person that you're empathizing with, because they're coming with loads of problems, it's you're building a good long relationship. I'm sure I can confidently say, and I know, Elizabeth, you can confidently say, the people that have passed through your coaching days, you're still in touch with them, because it is a relationship that you have built, because you have showed kindness through your words and through helping them. And how much more we can do by empathizing with others.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So last week, I think it was Friday, someone I know for some time, I was encouraging her to come on our confidence culture conversation, because she was struggling with some of the things, and I empathize with her, because it's a journey for her, and she opened up to me and said some things that were very personal. But you know what? Because it was the relationship I had built over the years that she was able to share it with me. And my heart goes out for her. And I told her to join us today. I don't know, probably she's incognito. Hi. But you know what? If she has come, but I've been sending her the links, our past episodes, to help her. But you know what? Empathy, it's just a little grain of yourself sharing with someone. It's a little part of you sharing with someone, giving someone a listening ear, or giving someone, buying some food is empathy, actually. Showing empathy to someone who's sitting in the tube station begging for food, or giving a tissue to someone who's crying profusely, or showing them direction. Oh my God, you hardly can find anyone in London showing you direction. I'm always getting lost. Even if I have a map, city map, how do I get here? Because sorry, that's my weakness. But you know what? I'm picking up. I'm learning better now. But you know what? Asking direction. There are people, lots of people who will help, but yet there are people who will not help, because you know what? They're so caught up with themselves. And we cannot be like that. We need each other. We need to touch someone's life with our empathy. And don't take it lightly, my friends. Don't take it lightly.
And actually, like, just linking directly to what you just said, for example, like, a tourist is lost and needing directions,
Mhm.
or maybe not a tourist, but someone is lost and needing directions, and you're able to help them, it gives you like that confidence boost in the knowledge that you have. Like that little bit of confidence there, like, oh, actually, I never ever thought I would kind of understand some streets of London, but
Mhm.
sometimes I'm able to help some people and say, yeah, go here, go there. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I know my stuff after all. So
Yes.
that little confidence in that sense, it helps as well. So that's not necessarily a personal confidence, but it's confidence in your knowledge
Mm-mm.
and your skill even.
And it puts a smile on your face. You've helped someone, yeah? You've helped someone today. A good deed done. So show empathy to one
Mm,
another. And I just want to add this. A lot of us are very hard on our children, our spouses, because things can get tough in a family when too close for your comfort. When and then we bite each other's heads off. Show some empathy for your spouse
your
or
spouse.
your children or your parents, for the matter. They have
Mm,
slowed down. Don't be impatient with them. Come on. Please, please, I beg you, because you know what? It's all about making memories. When I'm thinking about Elizabeth's father. He's
mm,
here, and they went all the way to Bristol to spend time with him. You know what? Our parents are getting old. We are getting old, and spending time, and that's another sickness in this country. I see
mm.
we have no time for our family, our parents.
Wow.
When we
Mm,
have our own children, we are so consumed with our own families, we forget our parents.
mm,
So cut some slack, show some empathy towards our family and loved ones. And this was very strange as I was trying to find out some of the points in showing compassion. The word that popped out is resilience. Elizabeth, you are the queen of resilience. Come on. Compassionate towards yourself during tough times.
yeah.
And we are in a space where everything is getting tough.
Mm,
Something that I bought a couple of months ago for £10 is going for £14 now.
mm,
How can you justify that? £4 increase?
mm,
So I told my husband, we can afford it now, but I'm not going to spend a £4 increase on something frivolous like that
mm,
because you can't justify the increase.
mm,
So that is just one, just food. But there will be other things coming in line with our lives that is going to cause us to rise up like warriors within us, to be resilient.
mm,
Now, I was thinking about my grandparents. They were resilient through war, man.
mm,
Everybody's talking about Third World War now, Elizabeth. So how are we going to be resilient? So I'm going to keep quiet because I'm not going to put fear into you. But these are things that we think about. How are we going to be confidently resilient in the things of the things that are going to come head on for us in the near future?
mm.
Food for thought, Elizabeth.
It is food for thought. I think one of my mottos is really not to live life from a place of fear,
Mm,
and to trust in the one you know. Trust in the one you know. I know God, so that's where my trust is. But um, I think just on the issue of resilience, just going back a little, today I was in a school, and one of the conversations we were having was resilience. We're talking about resilience, and I shared with these young people a time in my life where within maybe 6 months or just under 12 months, I had some very drastic issues that happened, and I had to have compassion on myself, and I had to be resilient to bounce back. If we're going to bounce back from the issues that life throws at us, then yes, we need to be kind to ourselves, because you can't control everything in life. Some things are out of your control. So when you're being compassionate to yourself, that's one of the things you have to understand, is that I can't control everything. So I let go of the things I can't control, and I manage the things that I can control and see what I can do about it. That's you showing compassion to yourself. And it's not always about blaming yourself. Oh, it's my fault. There's some people like that who will always blame themselves when something happens. They're like, oh, it's because I'm like this. It's because I'm like, no. That doesn't have to be the case. So compassion, even in the words we speak to ourselves. I think I've said this a couple of times in here about just the words that we speak over ourselves.
The self-talk, yeah.
It's so important that we show compassion to the young lady staring back at you when you look in the mirror. Show her some compassion, because that's going to help her. It will encourage her and boost her confidence. You watch. Go try it and watch.
Yeah. Well, I like that, Look at yourself in the mirror and say, wow, this is awesome. I'm a beautiful woman. I'm a handsome man. And then you will not resort to doing some strange things to your appearance, because you love who you are. And that's showing compassion. So did we speak about compassion, showing compassion towards us, others by act of kindness? We did, right?
We've touched on that, yes.
Yeah, act of kindness, yes, doing something. And you know what? This is a good time. We're going to enter into Christmas. Christmas is a time of giving. So there are lots of care homes that, just going in and getting some permission and just going, maybe if you can sing, go sing some carols, gather a few people and bring a cheerful noise to someone.
Actually, now that you mentioned that, there is an initiative called Let Your Light Shine. And they are trying to get as many Christians involved in doing kind acts. I think it's either over December or it's a particular weekend in December. Let your light shine. And it's an initiative, and they're trying to encourage people to take part, be part of it, and just shine their light in their communities. So that might be one.
Yeah, I know Nana, who's watching on this talk show, she kind of wants to do something in a care home, and just go there and what is that word? Sorry, lost my words. Spoil the people who live there. Just do some hand massage, some lovely cream, and some little pamperings that she wants to do. So I said, okay, I'll join you, Nana. We can go and bless some men and women who really want a little touch of love. So Christmas is a time of love. So anybody who wants to join us, please contact me. I think it'll be nice, me carrying my guitar there, going and singing some carols and doing some funny things. Why not? Let's put a smile to somebody's face.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So acts of kindness is so important because it shows compassion.
Mm.
But we have to be very wise when we show compassion to people who are street people. A lot of people, you give them money, they go and get the next fix. I think to be safe, to buy some food for them.
Mm.
If not, it'll be cigarettes or some weed or something like that. We don't know, but food is a good thing that you buy some food and give it to them, drinks, cakes, or something like that. At least it'll nourish them. Once I did that, and that pile of food was thrown at me.
Oh wow.
Probably I was not discerning enough,
Mm.
so I just turned around and I walked away. He just didn't say anything because you know what? They're not in the place to understand, or they were really broken. I do not know. They were thinking that I could give them some shillings for their next fix.
So what I usually do, I tend to ask them first.
Mm,
So I'll be like, I can get you some food or get you a drink. What would you like?
mm. Yeah,
As opposed to getting something and then bringing it. I ask them first and then I get it.
probably I was over enthusiastic. I got the sandwich thrown in my face.
Oh dear.
Well, we meet all sorts, but you know what? Because you're fearful of that, to help someone, don't stop helping.
Mm.
You might be helping an angel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there is a scripture like that, right? When
Mm-hmm.
you when you do when you do something for someone, you might be doing it to an angel. So
Very true. Very true. And I think it also talks about, whatever you do to the least of your brothers,
yeah,
you're doing unto me.
yes. So I think this word across the board, compassion. We are talking about individuals, but when you are in the office, when you are in the workplace,
Mm.
I think we need to show compassion towards our colleagues, our team. Sometimes we can be very hard on our team. So I did say family, our spouses, our children, but even in our team, how are we going to show compassion to one another in our workplace? Because people are always looking at you.
Mm.
You are the role model at that, to role model where you are modeling Christ in you, the hope of glory. And they are always looking at you, whether you are in a situation where you show empathy, compassion, whether you are resilient, whether you're killing yourself with the negative words.
Mm.
Wow, it's a lot of pressure around you, Elizabeth, because people are constantly watching you.
Mm.
So, yep, Elizabeth, compassion. And I like,
Compassion is necessary.
yeah, to complete your passion, your destiny and purpose, you need compassion towards yourself.
Mm. Very, very true. And you know what? One of the things I would say, like even walking in your purpose, like you need to show compassion.
Mhm.
You need to show compassion because purpose cannot be fulfilled in isolation of the rest of the world.
Mhm.
Your purpose sends you out. Your purpose causes you to interact with people, and you have to be able to show compassion. And I think one of the things we need to remember is that compassion is not just necessary in the hospitality industry,
Mm-mm.
it's everywhere. Because sometimes we think, oh, it's the ones in the hospital that need to, in fact, no, that's not necessarily hospitality, but like we think in the hospital is where they need to show compassion because they're dealing with sick people. But actually, wherever you are, when you walk out of your house, you show compassion. To the bus driver, you show compassion. To the postman, you show compassion. To the shopkeeper, you show compassion. And there was something you said earlier on, Kiruba, even showing compassion towards our kids.
Mm.
Because sometimes we expect better from them and we're going after them, but actually show compassion to them, because they're also dealing with so much. You don't know the day they've had at school.
Yeah.
So being able to show compassion is going to get us a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And just linking it back to confidence, like when you show compassion, it shows an element of your character as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that can help with your personal confidence, like you have it in you. Give yourself a pat on the back. So show compassion to yourself, show compassion to others. Like, let compassion be at the center of like the things that you are doing. Let it be part of embedded in your character, embedded in who you are. And it doesn't always have to cost you. It just means not always thinking about yourself. Just think about someone else a little, reach out to somebody. Compassion might even be just a phone call to somebody. You don't know what they're going through. Compassion can even look like, I'm going to say this, compassion can even look like showing up and shining consistently. I'll tell you why. Because when you show up and shine consistently with the right message, you provoke certain people to be better versions of themselves. I'm showing you compassion when I show up and provoke you to be a better version of yourself.
And that's what we are doing. That's what we are doing now.
Yeah. So when you show up, wherever you show up, you're showing compassion. The Bible says he rebukes those he loves.
Mm-hmm.
He's still showing compassion with the rebuke. So sometimes you need to be provoked to bring the best out of you. And that's me being compassionate, making time to spend with you, making time to show up for you. That's compassion in action. So as we come into this whole Christmas period, it's definitely worth considering and looking at it and just saying, how can I show more compassion in this season where people are talking about giving? How can you show compassion? Whether it's to the people on your street, whether it's in a nursing home like Kirubai said, whether it's at your church, whether it's just even a family that you know of. It could even be a family where it's a single mom and you help out with something. I don't know, something, whatever God lays on your heart to do. There's a lot of initiatives. I know there's like the shoe boxes initiative, like the Christmas shoe boxes, and there's loads of different things. There's a charity that collects winter jackets for homeless people. There's different initiatives. Just look around you. There's somebody that needs something that you might not need anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So show compassion. Let it go. Let it go. Right. Before I finish off, I'm going to show you some compassion for all the Christian women out there. You need to come to the Dare to Believe Women's Conference. You need to come because actually that's going to be such an inspiring conference that you need to be there. It's going to be on the 7th of December, and I am going to just really show you the flyer really quickly. 7th of December, DM me for all the details, or DM Kirubai. You can't see the full flyer, but it's okay. 7th of December in London, 12:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Amazing speakers. It's going to be good. So if you know a woman, register her, send her the link. And if you want to support this in any way, let's say maybe you can't be there physically, but you want to show some support. Donations are welcome, and I'll tell you why these donations are welcome. These donations are welcome because through this conference, any funds that are raised are going to go towards the Girl Get Up and Shine project. So when you give in support, it's going to empower women here, yes, in London, who are coming for the conference. But what we then want to do is be able to raise something to help young people, young girls. We're going to start with Uganda. because that's where I'm from. So we're going to start with Uganda, but we're going to pour into some young girls in the nation of Uganda. And whether that's going to look like sending some girls to school, if we can raise enough funds, I want to do at least next year, pay school fees for 4 girls if I can do it. That's one of the challenges I'm setting myself, because I'm 40 next year. So the number 4 is coming into action. So if we can raise enough funds, that's something I would love to do. And that's all part of showing compassion. There is compassion at the heart of compassion should be at the heart of everything you do and the way that you serve people. That's really what that needs to be. So I'm going to end there. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Kirubai, do you have any last words, or are you done?
I'm done.
You're done. Okay, well. Good night, everybody, or good morning, depending where you're watching from. And we will see you next week.
Yes. Or see you at the conference this weekend.
Yes, see you at the conference on Saturday. For those that can't make it, see you same time, same place. Please send this link to somebody else. If you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, share. Thank you very much for joining us. God bless you.